What the f?
Welcome back to The Watch. And what did we just watch? Willow episode 3. And oh boy, does it get worse. As bad as episode 1 and 2 were, episode 3, so far, takes the cake.
Thank you, Lucasfilm, for bring me right back to the Game of Thrones season 8 days.
Yeah, I know. Like, that gave me biggest kind of observance is like, yeah, they took a note out of the long night book of how to film nighttime scenes so you can't see anything. I was like, I barely could see a thing. And
I couldn't either. I was asking Tyrum. I got him to have a look here and there. And I was like, so, what do you see right there? And he's like, I think a midget. And I think it's a horse.
See, good, like, sometimes I wonder, is it just my, like, TV screen? But no, it's not. Like, it was so dark, and half the episode is that, and you can barely make out anything, and the things that you do make out are friggin' crap.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And that scene that I pointed out is a crucial one, considering it revolves around the fate of a character, and you couldn't see anything.
You couldn't see him!
I don't know what they were doing.
I just saw a blur, and it's this really pivotal, important moment. It's like, a blur flies across the screen. I hope it's okay.
And then there's the usual problems of the modern dialogue being inserted into a fantasy setting.
Like, there are layers of problems with this, and let alone, like, this is a desecration of, and it's not really a franchise. It was a beloved film. I loved it as a kid. Willow's great. You recently watched Willow.
I did. The show had come out. I figured, I think I've seen things of the original. Might as well go check it out. And I was watching it. I'm like, hang on a second. This is the film that had the pig transformation scene.
Yeah, so
that terrified me as a kid. And then I remembered it. I was like, oh, okay, there's actually a lot of good stuff here.
It's a good, fun film. And Lucasfilm, they just want to bastardize everything, just suck the life out of anything like a vampire because they have no creativity. And so, of course, they're going through all the lists of franchise or properties that they have to just because content.
Yep.
And they're so creatively bankrupt, they can't make up anything else. And look, I would have loved a Willow sequel, when people were able to make something good, but Disney, Lucasfilm, they have incompetent people leading ahead. It's par for the course of what they're doing, and it's just getting worse.
Oh, it really is. This episode shocked me because 1 and 2, all right, they were bad, and I watched it while I had a cold. It made it worse. They were bad, but this one just took it to the next level, and I know how this works. It's just gonna keep getting worse.
That seems very likely. And Marcus is joining me for this review.
Yeah.
The lady has been very busy and hasn't been out, but it's great to have Marcus here. He has great insights and everything, and you've seen them, so we're all up to date. So as usual, we'll be doing kind of a non-spoiler discussion, and then we'll get into when I say moment, there's so much dense crap in this. There's so many things to cover of how bad it is, and this episode just ramped up all the crap, all the bad things in the first 2 episodes are just pushed even further in this one.
Buckle in, it's going to be a long one.
So we're not in Rings of Power territory yet, but I do have 3 full pages, like smallly written notes.
So I have 5, but they're double-sided.
Oh!
So
there's so much to like. And to summarize in this non-spoiler thing, so the dialogue gets worse than what it was before. Characterization gets worse. Like there were conversations where I was like, I'm listening to retards, mentally broken people, and I'm supposed to take this show seriously?
I know what you're referencing to. Yeah. I was so confused.
It's just like, what is going on? So there's that. Okay, then the actual quality, the filming thing, takes a dive bomb because you can barely see anything. Like, with all the criticisms of Rings of Power, and there's a lot, right? At least it looked pretty in a lot of moments.
I could see it. I could see the bullshit.
Yeah.
But I could see it. Oh, wow.
And so is it better seeing the bullcrap or having it masked from you?
I don't know.
Well, the thing is, though, there were important moments in this episode that you couldn't see. And so that's a massive, fail here. And not only in terms of production values, there were outfits that looked like people just walked out of the modern day. They were dirty and everything, but they're modern denim outfits.
Yeah, I'm confused.
It's like they had cowgirls in this episode. They're wearing cowboy hats and denim outfits with butt belt. What?
I was so confused when I saw them. I'm like, what? Is this like a dream? Oh, no, it's not a dream. It's What? Okay, we go from fog to...
I know,
Right,
the transition was so jarring, and so just the transition between scenes was done really poorly.
Oh, it's so bizarre. I don't think I've seen that in a long time.
And if you think they're done just desecrating Willow's character, making him a joke and everything,
Oh, boy.
we're not done yet. They go to town on making Willow a joke, and then because the horse isn't dead enough, right, we have to crap on Mad Mardigan again.
Yeah.
This friggin' show, man.
Bad on so many levels. It's just... I'm not even that attached to the original movie, but I can't. I feel so bad for you, Willow fans out there.
I'm a Willow fan, and I'm friggin' pissed.
You have my sympathies.
Oh man, this is so. We're in 2 out of 10 territory. That's probably generous. Like
Very generous.
as we go through, because and also the other element about this, the cliches, the stereotypical, pathetic, like when I say, actually, no, not pathetic. This is the thing about cliches. They can work, right?
Yeah, they can.
But they usually can be the result of a lack of creativity. If you're going to resort to cliches, use them in an inventive way, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Here's an interesting one. Mad Mardigan. He was started out as a cliche introduction, but then he becomes very different from anything you've seen in fantasy before.
But boy, do they dive in. And we're not talking, like, in the first, little scene, there are so many fantasy cliches and they're horribly executed and they just layer it on one after another. And I'll point out the specifics. I got the notes. I'm not just saying it vainly.
We do.
Oh, and so combining all of these things together made for an impressively bad episode. Again, half of the course for Lucasfilm and Disney. They just have the same people making this, the same untalented people making this crap.
Do you think they got a competition between each other? Who can make the worst thing?
It's impressive at this point. I
can't pick.
Not only is it impressive for how bad it is just self-contained, it's impressive that they are consistently making so much crap. Like, at Disney, they're just doubling down. They don't want to learn anything because that would mean they have to actually take accountability for all their crap. Oh, by the way, woke propaganda laced throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Like to the point where you can't have, a man rescue a woman and they'll bend over backwards to avoid that. And you can't have a man lose to a woman. If they do, it's going to be because of some magic bullcrap. And specifics. We got specifics. Yeah. And so the agenda is just dripping on display here. We'll mention them. And going back to what I was saying is they're not going to learn from these mistakes because they're ideologues, right? It has the message, and that's what makes it good in their mind.
They're also incompetent, so they got to hide behind the ideology.
Well, exactly. That's the other thing, right? Because part of incompetence and part of these people that have only been hired for tick boxes and everything like that is that they're extremely insecure.
Yeah.
Okay? And so if people don't like it, it can't be because it's bad. Because if it's bad, that means I might actually be bad at my job. If I'm bad at my job, I might have to go back to learn. No. They could never be that honest with themselves because, people like this who are so insecure, if they accept even the slightest criticism, they hate themselves. I'm terrible. I'm worthless. Everything like that, which is just, it is textbook narcissistic. It's not only vanity, but also insecurity. It's like the smallest little failing, their world falls apart. So they create a barrier where they will not accept any constructive feedback at all. Okay. And as a result, they will never improve.
Yeah.
And that means, if people aren't liking what we've made, it can't be because it's bad. They must hate it for it's because it has representation. And you just hate women. It's like, no, you're friggin' bad at your job.
Yep.
Go back to school.
I mean, did Jonathan Kasdan not learn anything from Solo? I mean, come on. That movie bombed. When something like that bombs, you would think that you would take a step back and go, okay, what did I do wrong? Guess they can't do that.
Yeah, it is impressive, but they're not going to change. No. So there we go. There's the non-spoiler review of episode.
Yeah, because we can't talk about it without going into really specific detail because there's so many things that they just basic stuff they can't even get right.
Like really amateur basic things that any writer worth their salt who's wanting to be a competent writer learns how to avoid these problems in the early stages of writing.
I've got the hottest it takes. Yeah. Rings of Power does some of these basics better.
Oh, really? Oh, you might...
Just regarding dialogue, at least Rings of Power's crap. Sounds like it could belong from that period.
Oh, it's just, but wherever it fits, it does fit well in Rings of Power group of just dog crap.
Exactly. It's just a mess.
All right, so we are going to go into spoilers now in an episode. We'll go through the episode chronologically, trying to grab everything. There might be a bit, but that's why you're here. We do the deep dives, we do the breakdowns, because we do not hate for the sake of hating. I want good media. I wish I wished it would be good. I love Willow, okay?
I want the fantasy golden age.
Exactly. I don't want crap. I love talking about things I love, like House of the Dragon. Look at every House of the Dragon review that we did, okay? And so we're not hating for the sake of hating. No, we're hating on it because it is legitimately awful, and we've got the receipts. We'll point out every single horrible written bullcrap, trope written, lack of creativity, and bad writing, dialogue, everything. It's all there. It's all there.
I just want to say, I really don't like their opening. Like, you think of great openings in TV, like Game of Thrones, for instance. This one's just, it's a book, look. That's it? That's all you got? You couldn't pay animators or something, really?
I don't necessarily mind cliches like the book if they execute it well. But they're just relying on these tropes because they don't have the creativity to not only make up things that are new and interesting, but to work with them in interesting ways. And so this opening sequence, like trope after trope, cliche after cliche, ancient lost civilization.
It's probably the reason I actually liked this, and I got frustrated when, well, we'll get there.
So there was an ancient civilization, right? A fall, was this thing. There was 2 kings, and someone made a breastplate. Now,
we got to talk about this
already. Well, there's that, but already, right? They are so offended by stereotypical gender roles, which is, guess what? Even though you can try and push against it, you're not going to change the world because most men are going to fall into the behaviors that men have been doing for all of history, all right? And most women will. And even with you trying to re-engineer society, you're only going to capture a couple of impressionable people and probably ruin their lives in the process, by the way, and do damage, but you will never succeed, okay? Because guess what? Most blacksmiths in the world are guys. There are female blacksmiths, but it takes a bit of muscle, okay?
Oh, yes.
And so, again, we see in this that they cannot have like the traditional gender roles be reflected. So the blacksmith got to be a woman. The woodsman, no, not woodsman, woodswomen.
It's doubly dense as well because it's an old lady.
It's an old lady.
Why?
She could barely lift a hammer. But no, she's the mother of the kings, and she's making this thing, and she makes a magical breastplate. It's like. But the thing is, they don't describe how it's magical. They said it's made out of special material, and I friggin'...
What special material? Could you tell us? Would you like to share?
The name of the magical metal is chromium. I'm not sure if the writers realize that chromium is actually an element on the periodic table. It already exists. And it's not magical. It exists in the real world.
No, what are you talking about?
It's literally what we add to steel to make stainless steel. So she made a stainless steel breastplate. Magic!
They're probably just sitting there thinking, what would be a good name for special material? Oh, chromium. That sounds
chromium.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. All right.
They're so desperate to try and make it different. They spell it differently in the subtitles. It's like a cuirass of pure chromium, but they literally say it, express like it's chromium, like as in the CHROMUIM, the element of the periodic table, chromium.
I completely missed that. I was more confused about the next thing.
It's hilarious! It's the element with the symbol CR, the atomic number 24. It's the first element of the group of 6. It is steel. It is steely grey, lustrous, hard, and brittle. This doesn't make good breastplates. You can make stainless steel with it.
No, but this breastplate has a key to unlock it.
I don't know. Yeah. It's so dumb.
Oh, that's so... when they said that part, I was just thinking in my brain, okay, if the key's like here, why couldn't someone just grapple them and take it off and then get the armor off?
If you look closely, it sinks into the breastplate like they have a hole in their chest.
It's even worse.
It's even worse. But the writers are so dumb that they didn't even realize that chromium isn't a pre-existing element. It's like, that sounds like an interesting metal-y name.
Yep.
Remember how, like, this is a big, if you, just in the beginning, this would be such a red flag. It's like, these writers don't seem to be very good.
No, they're not very smart.
Google this word at least.
It just confirms that they do not have anyone checking anything.
It really does. But then, okay, so magical item, another trope. That's going to say that. But also another magical trope. They need something magical in it, and they made it's called the Lux Arcana, and so like they don't explain any other magical quality.
Hang on a second. That doesn't even look
It doesn't.
like it
It
fits.
doesn't. No, it doesn't. The prop makers of this.
I know, they don't care. They clearly don't.
Have you seen what they're wearing? Look at the woodswomen.
We'll get there.
Right.
Don't worry.
So they don't explain how it's magical. It's just made of pure chromium, and it's like mithril is a magical material, but it doesn't make things into like super magic. It's like it's really strong and light. It should be, except what they do with Rings of Power in that. But at least they explain some weird reason. It has the light of the Avar. You know, it has the magical light.
It's nonsense.
But at least they try to explain. They don't give anything here. It's just magic.
Look at it. It's brittle armor.
And
what
then
the hell that's getting?
And the more tropes. It has a mystical magical key. She assembled the Lux Arcana. Do we know what it is? No, it's just some magical. Like we don't have any idea what this is. No. But the Lux Arcana, and watch, ready? It sinks into his chest. It's like, and it's only the Lux Arcana isn't the thing that gives it the power. It's only there to activate the enchanted armor. But she watch, ready? So you can see it.
Why wouldn't you just build
ready?
it?
It's like this weird like tech device. And ready? It sinks into it. It starts to sink in his chest.
I'm just confused. Why does it have to be a key that sinks into the armor? Why can't it just be you imbue whatever that is? You just imbue it onto the cuirass, and that's it. So that way you wear it, and you go, "Oh, I gotta put the thing in and stab myself with this."
So if you think like the chromium was just people can gaff, you know, they're not stupid. He just didn't realize. There is another line just about to come up where just is evidence proves the fact that they are just reaching for any kind of word that they've heard. They don't know the context. They don't bother looking what the context is. And then they repurpose it, showing how uncreative they are. They're just copying other things that they've heard and not knowing the context because this city is under attack. And it's under attack by a certain well, they name what the things are attacking it. Did you...
Hang on a second. I don't know. Again, I was more distracted by the armor and...
He said he rode out to fight 2,000 death dealers.
You're right, I did catch that.
Death dealers. Harry Potter, death dealers.
Well, that's Death Eaters. But
Death Eaters. I thought that was pretty dumb. Oh, yeah.
Death Dealer.
There you go. It's like...
They thought that sounded cool.
Oh, they did. They did.
What? Just because you put death in the name does not equal menacing. Nazgul sounds way more menacing than Death Dealer.
Okay, but I'm glad you corrected me about the Death Dealers, Death Eaters. That's very close. It's like, can you come up with anything that's just original?
You just go out there. Actually, no, don't, because you'll just name them after some obscure element again.
So, as bad as that was, right?
Yeah, here we go.
That was so bad, it was still probably the most enjoyable part of the episode.
I agree. I was like, more of this, please. And then Kit starts talking.
Then she opened her mouth, and I was like, I forgot. I actually had forgotten how insufferable she is. And the first thing she says is just so insufferable.
She's distracting every time she shows up.
It's just like she can't be bothered to listen and pay attention to important context that explains why her father went off on a mission. And she's just like, yeah, shut up. Tell me what...
Oh, and also Borman makes a commentary about Gen Z. Yeah, that's in place in a... Oh, it's a fantasy setting. What are you doing?
I know. It's
attention spans. They would be having books to read.
I do like him.
I like him.
But
it's such an idiotic line.
It is. It's a modern line. It's out of place in a fantasy setting. And yet, but at least someone's at least trying to call her out on a bullcrap. But the context is that she is in the right because the show wants you to love this character. It's so wonderful.
What? I don't understand. How are we supposed to like her? Everything they've done has made her unlikable.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
like sarcastic.
It's fascinating, but can you...
Oh, you're born, man. Oh yeah, very funny.
It's like this isn't funny. She's just a condescending cow, and she's like all about me. You know, she just tell me what. Like right at the beginning, it's like Thank you for reminding me why I hate that character.
Oh, and remember, worst part of it, she's supposed to be Mad Mardigan's daughter.
Right. And then he tries to says, forgive me for trying to, fancy up what I was saying. And then they're so, like, not paying attention. She comes up with, like, no, I love Tails. It's like, hang on. You literally just showed us you hating Tails. Like, you were so, like, uninterested in the story. You were just shut up and get to what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she's like, oh, no, I do love Tails. It's like,
so you're a liar.
Either she's a bald-faced liar or the writers are so dumb that they didn't realize that there's a blatant contradiction in what they're showing versus what the character is saying.
You know what? I'm actually going to go with the latter, considering what happens later.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go. So, Willow comes in and it's like, hey, Aurora's missing. And Kit immediately is like, who cares? Okay, I get it. You don't like her. You're a bit jealous. We set that up. She's still a very important person.
The fate of the entire world rests on that girl's shoulders. It's like, screw her.
Yeah, who cares?
And in actual fact,
she could have got far.
So much of what happens in the episode freaking frustrates me because they contextualize that's the reality of Elora Danan in this show, okay? Yeah. She is the savior of the world, and their reaction to her getting kidnapped is nowhere near as, holy crap, this is bad as it should be.
That's a frustrating thing. Not even Willow acts that.
I know. In fact, they're happy to just talk about, like, what the kid's like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I'm useless and it's bad that I was like, and then one of the things that pissed me off about this episode is, it might seem a small thing, but I was just getting really frustrated. This stupid friggin' wagon.
Oh, gee. This thing is annoying.
Because this is contextualize my issue that starts here is like, this is really bad that Elora is kidnapped. You should just go nuts to find her.
Yeah, get on the horse.
Times of the essence, run as fast as you can to get her, and instead, it's like, we're going to take the wagon with us. We're just slowing us down to a snail's pace. The wagon will lose a wheel. We'll spend hours repairing the wagon and all this crap to drag the friggin' wagon along when it gets bloody destroyed by a lightning bolt at the end anyway. Can't friggin' stand it. Stupid show!
I know, it's so... This wagon is just... I don't know what the obsession is with
Exactly! They're like so desperate to keep the wagon, and then they have it destroyed at the end anyway by a random lightning bolt! Why did you...
Which is... I mean, thank you, Lightning Bolt. I appreciate Zeus coming in and intervening in the stupidity, but...
But from a writer's perspective, right, it's just making the characters look like they don't give a crap about Elora because this wagon's more important than how insanely crazy it is that they need to find her. And so... At the very beginning, even when they're leaving, I was like, oh, so the first thing that you want to do, you ditch the wagon, get on the horses, and gallop as fast as you friggin' can after it. Because if you just take the wagon with you and plod along, it shows the knights riding at full gallop. So they're like, what, half a day ahead of you already? Okay? The distance that they would have created then. And then, right?
We'll get there.
They like, I just need to, because this is the point where we're going to do it all wagon now, right? Is that they're like, oh, no, you guys ride ahead and we'll catch up. So they're like trying to say, we are desperate. But guess what? Then they see a storm and they stop and wait for the wagon to wait up. So
just stopped.
So they just stopped, wait for a couple of hours. The bad guys are getting further away. And the only way they can justify that they kind of meet up with the bad guys is that Elora, she escapes and there's this whole side that they're looking for her. And that gives them enough time, in the plot chronology where they actually, because I was thinking the only way they'd be able to find it if they teleport, like rings of power.
I thought they did teleport because numerous times I was like, did they borrow Littlefinger's teleportation technology from the later Game of Thrones seasons?
It feels like that because what actually happens is they end up overtaking the bad guys and the bad guys catch up to them. But I was like, all right. They didn't tell us how much time had passed in the forest where she had escaped. And so that's the only way you can justify it. She spent ages in there slowing down the bad guys and the good guys overtook, right? But the thing is, though, the heroes would not have been able to take into account that Elora would slow them down or break free, right? From their mind, the bad guys are riding full ball to deliver her. We cannot waste any time at all. And yet they waste all this friggin' time where they wait for the wagon to get up, the wagon loses a friggin' wheel, and they piss fart around trying to repair this stupid friggin' wagon, right? And then... it's so damn frustrating. And they only are able to catch up to them for things outside of their control. So, and because if the bad guys didn't lose her, they never would have been able to catch up because of the stupid friggin' wagon. And then the writers realized the wagon is so pointless anyway, they'll just destroy it off camera, and they try and make a joke where, oh, there's something important in the wagon, we need to... It gets destroyed.
Was there something important in the wagon, or Willow was just like, no, we need to retreat into the wagon?
No, he said he had a jar of something, and that was really dangerous. It could explode or whatever. And it's like, oh, but they'll use it in the fight. And then it looks at the wagon, gets destroyed, and then it's like, keep fighting.
He also tried to say, oh, we should retreat to the wagon. We should tell them to stop fighting. Willow, you are an idiot. You are beyond stupid. How can they stop fighting when they're coming out of full tilt? Oh,
and so it's like the writers realized how pointless and stupid the wagon was, that they needed to write it out. Okay, ditch it in the first beginning of the episode and stop making your heroes look like,
it was jammed in a bloody hole.
And they even write that the wagon is objectively slowing down because it loses a wheel, and they can't take, and they even say, oh, we can't go through certain passes because the wagon won't fit. So the wagon is really screwing them up. And at no point did they just do the obvious logical thing, ditch the friggin' wagon. And then the fact that they were willing to ditch it anyway by having it destroyed is just like frustrating the hell out of me, because it's like they went out of their way to make the most stupid kind of way to play it out, to make the characters look really dumb, careless, like they're not worried about Elora Danan at all, and to undermine it completely by the fact that they get rid of the wagon anyway. They didn't need to screw out over the story. I freaking can't see it. And so it's just... You think I'm dwelling a lot on the wagon, but the thing is, it's just a case in point, perfect example of the incompetent writing on display. And the fact that it was so unnecessary is what's pissing me off about it, but they did it because they don't know how to write.
And it's also worse because they know it's Yes! They knew! And they're like, but we gotta still have it to distract certain things. Good riddance to the wagon. Zeus, thank you.
Freaking hell. So there's our wagon, Red.
Yeah, it's...
And now, firstly, like, actually, no, if you can do a wagon in a show and do it right, fine, good, okay.
Just not like that, please.
So, yeah, Elora Danan is missing, by the way.
Yeah.
And I just found it interesting, like, wow, I don't care. Like, I'm so uninvested in the show that I do, like, who gives a crap?
And isn't that sad? Because you would think that would be the focus.
Yeah, and
that should be what matters more.
I was going to say, she's a likable character. No, she was a likable character.
Yeah, she was.
Because in this episode, she becomes a complete moron. And I kind of like that they made her a bit ditzy, a bit airheaded in the first two episodes, but now she's just stupid.
An arrogant moron. I just want to get that word in there. What?
So they could have done something with, because the actress, I think, does a great job with Elora Danan, and there were some funny, quirky elements about it. There's things they could work with. It's lost in this one. Can't keep a good thing. And so the only character that has any mild bit of likability is the warrior guy, Borman. Borman is the only hope, but they'll probably ruin him by the end as well.
Notice how we didn't say Willow?
Yes. Isn't that is just...
Well, that's probably the biggest...
Such a condemnation of this show.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Willow is not a likable character in this. He's incompetent, he's stupid on multiple levels, and is also... He says some really dumb things that not only out of character, but unjustified.
Yeah.
Like... There's one moment in this where it just makes him come off like such an ass. It is like...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably come to it chronologically.
We'll get there.
They split up. This is important. They split up to look for Elora. That implies going in opposite directions.
Oh, and... Actually, no, that's later. Don't worry. We'll get to the whole splitting up tactic.
So...
at least Kit realizes, I was wrong.
But also, they're so cheap that they couldn't have gotten a real tree. It's a CG tree, and it just looks fake as anything.
At least it shows that Kit is wrong. Yeah. Anytime the show does that, I get a little happy. It's like...
So, all right. The show didn't contextualize when... They kidnapped her, actually, it was like on the break of dawn, and now the sun is... So... it felt like at least a couple of hours had passed by the time other people get around.
What are these Muppets doing?
Well, yeah, and so...
Why are you taking so long to get the hell out of there?
But the show wants us to believe that, no, that as soon as she was kidnapped, that's when they start looking for her to coincide and catch him just as they're leaving. It's like...
It's so convenient.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It is. It's like, sure, okay, contrived as convenient, but not nearly as contrived as what we get to, right?
I know.
But, all right, they all went off in other directions. I can believe, okay, like, if it was so perfectly timed that they hadn't left yet, one of them could come across them. Okay, I can go along with that. They have an exchange, okay, and
Oh, and
I thought I was leading to a girl power moment. Sorry, go.
I was just surprised that, oh, it's so sad. We actually have some conflict that could have been interesting where he's been corrupted.
Exactly. And
Jade is really sad.
And they kind of, they attempt it towards the end of the episode. They don't pull it off, but it was the closest they've come to make me feel something, I think. Because they did contextualize, they have a relationship, there's a father-daughter thing, and he's possessed against his will. But anyway, so...
Unfortunately, it's immediately ruined by Kit again.
So, well, this is the thing, right? Willow appears.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, maybe two. Maybe one person comes across... Okay, you could push it to two, maybe two, because the other people then they're in the other directions.
I know where you're going.
In the other direction, so okay, and you know, as
look, Kit's here.
Kit's here's like, hang on, did you all just decide to walk in, three?
I thought
three
you split up.
When we get to three, it's already gone like.
Yep.
Okay, hang on, but this thing. All of them come.
Yeah, there's more.
Every single one of them rock up, and one of them just seems to. We don't even see him arrive. It cuts, and now he's there, like he teleported. It's the the cucked week. Why we need a nickname for him. So this girl is Freckles.
Yep.
We have insufferable Kit. We got Willow. I remember Alora. I now remember Borman because it's the only interesting thing.
Yeah.
But the weak, pathetic guy. Cuck? Incel? The incel, yep. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, we'll go.
So Incel arrives and he just kind of teleports.
Yeah.
But
Borman there he is.
There's Borman.
He's right there. He's got his cleaver out. He's ready to go.
And when it got to Borman, I'm like, did you all just walk in the same direction?
Yeah, it's like this. Oh, we split up.
It's just, come on, right?
I mean, here's the thing. There's like a serious conflict that's possibly going on with like Freckles and I don't know his name. I'll just call him Creepy Skin Man later.
Yeah.
And every time there's like a moment of seriousness in this show, it's immediately undercut by just stupid modernisms. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, we're going to be funny now. Oh, yeah, because this is the timing for it. Yeah, you can't let me take anything seriously. What are you, a comedy, or do you actually want to try and be a fantasy?
We skipped over a pretty big plot hole, which was just astounding, right? And it's when Freckles comes across Skin Man, right? He says, like, but you know who she is, don't you? And I was like, whoa, what? Like, who Alora Dannon is like the biggest kept secret in this world, okay? Sorsha, only two people knew. She establishes only two people knew. Yeah. And she did not tell this guy who she was. And
now we don't.
And part of the whole context of this secret is that the bad guys don't know who she is because they're keeping her hidden from the bad guys, which also means the bad guys couldn't have, told him who she is through ESP or something like that. There is no way he could have figured out who she is.
No.
And then he suddenly knows.
Oh, but the crone is like got his brain and
passed the crone shouldn't know either.
I know.
They purposely kept it a secret so no one knew. That was the point. They gave her a new name and everything.
I know, it's so bad. I got nothing.
And now they just know. Because the reality is...
Because we have to know now.
He's corrupted by the evil people, right? Yeah. And so what are their intents?
Oh, actually, I think I just realized something. He did see... Oh, no, he didn't. Never mind. I thought he saw the tree. I was going to give him the benefit. No, it's gone.
Right.
It's gone.
And so the evil people's intent... They attacked the castle to kidnap the prince.
Yeah.
They kind of got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the evil guy's getting corrupted.
Wait, hang on. Why did they kidnap? I'm confused with this prince
thing
now.
We'll find out, but we don't really know. Like,
it's going to be as unsatisfying as this is.
It's probably bullcrap. I don't know.
I don't know why.
Maybe the bad guy's logic was like, they'll kidnap someone important to lure out who Alora Dad is. Why would that work? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a pretty big hunch.
No, it'd be so dumb.
Yes.
It's like... It's everything is stupid. So they should not know who she is, right? And so the bad guy's now corrupted. I would think that what he would want to do is kill anyone trying to rescue the prince because their main plan seemed to be focused around the prince.
Yeah, you'd think.
And so
no.
when the queen sends him to go after this girl because she's important to the queen, he still doesn't know who she is. Yeah. And so his target would be Kit to kill her. Not,
you would think.
Not Alora, but now he just suddenly knows.
The show is so... This is terrible.
It's retarded, man. This show just is stupid.
It crumbles on more levels than I even thought. I knew it was bad after watching it, but now you've made it worse.
Oh my goodness. And so I just like flipped out when that happened. I was like, how did that, what?
Yep.
And then Freckles actually calls her Allura by name. And I just wanted to slap her, you stupid idiot. Now you've just told him. But he already knew, so that's where their justification is. But the thing is,
But you think they would have trained not to do that?
and then Allura starts telling people as well.
Oh,
She
does.
introduces herself by name as Allura. And they're like, oh, you're named after the it's like...
that scene is... There's a lot with that scene.
Right? I'm trying to remember when the bad guy soldier, skin suits, talks with Willow's daughter when he's trying to interrogate where they went. That wasn't... He didn't know who Laura was then either, though. He's just kind of saying, where did they go? From memory. I don't know. I've already tried to push a lot of episode 1 and 2 out of my mind because of...
Trying.
But anyway, so massive plot hole there.
Oh, by the way, prepare for a really crappy
Oh,
line.
also talk about divining information from the ether where they don't have justification.
Yeah.
So the first interaction, she says, what's wrong with you? Okay, I could, he seems a bit off. Maybe you could get that question. And then he says, I'm just not feeling well, something like that. And then she's like, she now knows, it's like, oh, you need help. And it's like, well, hang on, that's a bit of a leap.
That's...
How did you get there? There's not huge signs, but then he reveals his evil. But still, the fact that she just leaps to that information.
Yeah.
I mean, divining stuff from the ether.
Yep.
And then I was like, I thought that were leading to a girl boss power moment, which they kind of do. She does end up beating him later on. But
at least it's not. It's somewhat story driven, and it does get something out of her. But she's still a blank slate beyond. I still don't know what her characteristics are. At least with Kit, I have a word I could describe her as.
Okay, yeah, everyone just appears out of nowhere.
Oh, by the way, Kit says, "Oh, back in your scabbards, boys."
That was my next one.
Because we can't have a serious... Here's the thing that's driving me nuts with Kit. She should be as upset as Jade about this guy.
Oh, yeah.
But she isn't!
And not only that, right? So, Freckles drew her sword.
Yeah.
An aggressive kind of thing, right? Borman comes, and maybe we need to get to the line, because the lead up is just... Well, actually, there was a bad line about the wispy bits.
There's so many bad lines. Oh, I don't give a mule soft wisp. Wow, that was bad.
I have a lot, yeah. Okay, so Borman comes up, and he actually has some charismatic fun lines. And so he's like, stay out of this, Borman. And he's like,
can't.
I can't. And then she comes in, back in your scabbards, boys. And
Why? What are you doing, you dense Oh,
it's like, Borman, trying to save Allura's
Yeah.
life, right? And then she wants to, it's a euphemism of stop having a pissing contest, right? Look at these men, just being so pig-headed and stupid in trying to have a de-measuring contest.
Oh, yeah, it's not like the fate of the world's at stake or anything with this kidnapping.
An insufferable cow is trying to save Allura's life. And guess what? He's not the only one who has been trying to threaten this guy. Freckles did as well. But you don't mention Freckles because this is where the propaganda comes in. It's just
this line is pure propaganda.
So-
There's no defending this one.
It's implying they are acting like toxic, stupid, testosterone-driven, violent men, right? But he's actually trying to save Allura's life, and Freckles drew her sword, so why not say anything to Freckles? So she's being a hypocrite, right?
I don't know, maybe something serious like, calm down, keep your cool, you might lose it, or something.
Exactly, no, but
something
they specifically contextualize it in the framing that it's men acting like men and ruining everything and they're being stupid, and I was like, no. And he didn't even say anything that bad.
No,
He's just like, you back off, and it's like, I can't. That wasn't any thing particular.
I felt like a bit of a callback to Mad Mardigan.
I mean... And so this is the type of, seriously, it's the type of desperate vilification of masculinity, and it's so hypocritical because they did it to Freckles as well. I wrote down some notes I want to write. So they vilify the men because they're so desperate for men to be toxic so they can denigrate masculinity and push the feminist agenda. They are, so they're literally like, there was nothing toxic that happened here. In fact, this is virtuous masculinity, a man trying to save a damsel in distress.
Pretty
but
standard.
they want to frame it as toxic, where it doesn't exist. There's nothing problematic here at all, but they want to frame it like there is, because
Of course.
narcissistic, vain people like this need a cause to fight against. And if there's no cause anywhere, they will create a cause where there's not, offense where there's no offense actually there to be found, so they can feel better about their vain narcissistic lives. Okay? That's all what it comes down to.
Yeah, more or less.
And this is just a microcosm of that, delivered in a simple line, but it reflects all this friggin' bullcrap where you're injecting just subversive, vilifying ideology, vilifying, men acting like, and Sarah Borman should be celebrated for trying to save her life, and just like,
especially seeing as he's like a rogue and he has he's characterized as a bit selfish. That's a big moment for him, and it's immediately undercut.
Yeah, you're just acting like a toxic man. Stop measuring your penises basically against each other, and it's freaking frustrating because it's like, guess what? Freckles was doing the same thing. She freaking drew her sword and everything. And it's like, oh no, she's not. She's like, don't put it back in the scabbard because you're. It's hypocritical bullcrap. This is the whole thing, right? This is, again, just another point of evidence where mainstream feminists, they don't want equality. They want women to do all the bad things that they have claimed men has done throughout all the past and give them a free pass. Because, again, they don't criticize Freckles, right? But then they will keep vilifying men where it's not justified at all and they did nothing wrong. And they'll claim just as, we put it back in, stop acting like a man, basically. It's frustrating as hell.
So that was all on one line.
That was all in one line, but it reflects layers of just ideology. And by the way, it's not the only time where this stuff happens, right? It's reflected in who's saving who, okay? Who's doing what jobs, who gets kidnapped, okay? It was the prince that was kidnapped, not the princess, okay? It is the woman who's the blacksmith, not a man. It is the woman who are the woodsman, not the man. It is, you can't have a man rescue a woman. And what's so frustrating about this is, right, is that they have attacked, like mainstream feminism has tried to attack men for being, behaving badly and everything like that. But when men do behave good, like for instance trying to rescue a damsel in distress, like, no, we can't teach men that they need to rescue women because that somehow makes women to be seen as weak. And so we will never let, on TV, have a man rescue, like Wheel of Time, they went out of their friggin' way.
Oh, did they?
They even broke reality to not have a man rescue a woman because they think it's somehow demeaning to women. And you stupid idiots, you want to teach boys and men everywhere to rescue women and rescue anyone who is in danger, okay? This is where you get insane noble sacrifices like men going to war to sacrifice their lives for the safety and protection of other people, and to let women and children get on the boats first on the sinking ship, okay? Because men will be willing to do that, but that's problematic now.
To be fair, this is perfectly in line with like all that Marx stuff.
It is.
It really is. I mean, just go research what Stalin did after his veterans came back.
I mean, my goodness, right? And if you want a society where men don't protect women, guess what? You will destroy society, okay? You need men to protect women, and you need men to protect society.
You're a medieval enthusiast.
Yes.
Would it be correct in saying that from like ancient times all the way through the medieval period, it wasn't actually men enforcing those rules, it was actually women?
Women
for a very important reason, because the world's
like to be protected, okay? Especially if you want society to continue, and that means babies being made. Women can become very vulnerable when they're carrying a child. They need someone to provide and protect for them, okay? And so women were pushing that status quo, and most sane women do it in the modern day as well, because that is the most successful type of arrangement for humanity to flourish, okay? And look, yes, I know exceptions can exist and they can be perfectly acceptable, but the standard needs to actually be acknowledged as important. And shows like this, there are multiple times where they've gone out of their way to try and reflect something different because they feel it's problematic. I just look at who's doing what, and it's consistent again and again and again. And we'll point out exactly here because we've already seen female blacksmith, female woodsman, and woodwomen and things. And I laughed when, and we'll get to it specifically, where the untrained woodswoman beats a trained knight in combat.
Should we go into that now or wait? Because that scene is... Oh.
Now, people might say, oh, no, she didn't win. No, no, no. She actually did. If that guy didn't have dark evil magic, he would be dead. The untrained woodsman beats him and lodges an axe in his back. Okay? She won. That was like, come friggin' off it. Okay?
Yeah, no, I don't believe it.
This is a trained, experienced knight.
And he's in armor! Come on!
Right? And why do they do this? Because you can't have a lady lose to a man. I was like, oh, she did lose. No, no, no. She got cheated. That's how she was killed, okay?
Yep. Anyway, speaking of fights, we should really talk about this
We'll get to it. But look, I get that the other woods lady gets killed and everything like that, but there's a reason why they have key moments like this. And it's in the key moments, and we see again and again. And it then is reflected in lines like, you know, back in your scubbard, boys. And just like, and then it makes me hate this freaking character more because she's a hypocrite now. It's like, oh, no, Freckles is fine, but you guys are acting like toxic men. Screw you.
I hate it from the start, to be honest.
Actually, no, I wouldn't want to screw you. One, I'm married, and two, it'll make me feel gay.
I mean, that's the thing. She's pretty, but
they made her look like a man.
They made her look terrible.
Like,
I was saying the actress. It's the same case as always.
Yeah, no, I'm not like she could actually, if they went out, she could look really pretty, but they go out of their way to make them look like men.
Actually, to be fair, the actress makes herself look like.
At least they didn't do that with Allura. Allura actually happy to make her look like distinctly feminine.
Anyway.
All right, so there's a fight. Okay.
I do like this. I like that Willow's mate is so eager to get the
Good
knives
on him.
out and
Get
wants
the
to
knives
fight.
But his line,
It's very charming.
his line is pretty weak. He's like, I don't give a. He says specifically, I don't give a mule soft wispy bit to you.
Okay, that's really bad.
Really bad.
Oh.
It's like,
What are they doing?
Why?
The
The lead into that line is like, I don't give a mule's left testicle who you serve, right? Or I don't give a mule's ass who you serve. Something like that. But it's like, no, those are too edgy. We can't, no, we can't say what they are. It's like, no, it was a soft wispy bits. It's like...
It just goes back to the whole thing of tonal inconsistency as well. It's really hard to take anything seriously when lines like that are said.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, anyway, did your brain melt when you watched the fight choreography? Because wow, there's a lot of wide swings and swings.
Yeah, the choreography is garbage. But in terms of the garbage that you see in mainstream, it's like standard schlock garbage. Whereas, except I was about to just write it off as like, eh. And then I see some really bad spins. There
was one I noticed that Kit does.
Well, there's a plot hole, a massive plot hole that the writers they are not paying attention between what they show and what's actually happening. So something happens in the beginning of the fight which contextualizes something really significant, and it's the strength. So it's a bit of a spin. I could give that a pass. Big wide overswing. That actually, see that moment there? Oh, I can't go frame by frame, but it was actually quite close. So that one was well, set up. But we're about to come to the plot hole. So ready? Wait. Big wide swings. It's coming up right here. Watch this. Holy friggin' crap!
How?
Oh, what the hell?
How did you do that?
Well, this sets up power scale.
Yep.
What we have just seen here gives us a direct point of reference.
It never happens again.
How strong they are. And you're right, it never happens again. And the other thing, if they are that strong to do that to a tree, that means every single hit they're fighting, it should send the, normal people, break their blades, knock them for a 6, or break their guard. They cry and guard, and they just hit through and kill them anyway, right? But at no other point in this entire fight scene do they reflect that level of strength again.
Nope.
And in actual fact, it just
goes back to normal.
It's just back to normal. They just keep.
Look at that swing though.
Yeah, I know, that was bad. That was real
Look at them.
bad.
They're all. Oh, that's me. That one. That one's right there.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
I gotta love how Willow's just doing nothing.
They make him, and not only that. When I say they make Willow incompetent, Willow is the direct reason the bad guys get away.
Oh, you noticed that too.
I couldn't freaking believe it. I was like...
No, but they blame Incel.
They blame the Incel. It's like, no, Willow, that was your fault. Yeah. And no one calls him out on it.
No, it's just...
they just move, they got away. Yeah. Dang it. It's like, oh, Willow, He was the one that... So he throws a smoke bomb. And no one can see anything. And the bad guys use that smoke bomb with such precision to just grab her, put her on the horse, and run away. It's like they threw it. It's like if they had a ninja escape and they threw a smoke bomb and then they cut the exact thing. We saw the exact thing what we've seen here. It would have made more sense.
I just realized, if they were able to do it that quickly, why were they just standing around?
It's really quick. As soon as that smoke lands, they teleport away. So that's when.
Oh, also something I noticed that started making me dislike Allura. When that prince is trying to rescue her, immediately she's like, "Is there anyone else?"
I know.
It's like you weren't like this before. What happened to you?
You are absolutely right. Like
he's helping you. Just be grateful. You. Oh,
so I have that note right here. The line, "I'm rescuing you." Was no one else available? That's what she said. And I again, it's like.
Come on!
The first line amongst many that make Allura look like a friggin' idiot. Okay? Where it's like, she wakes up and everyone's fighting.
Yep.
So clearly no one else is available. Yeah. And then, you're getting rescued, you stupid cow! You wouldn't complain who's doing it!
You absolute twat. What are you doing?
Stupid lady. Gosh.
Well, wait. It gets worse.
Oh, so yeah, the fight is crap, but there's... Yes. Oh, wait, this is when he goes up to... goes up to it. Yeah, here it is.
What is this fight choreography?
So, there's a lot of overswinging, a lot of telegraphing. Oh, that spin there, that was dog crap. Oh, my goodness.
Maybe this is why they shot everything in the dark later on.
Also, you know, to see how the cuts only last for like half a second. It's a new cut, and it's really close angle. They go so close to mask how bad the actors are at sword fighting. So they're trying to hide everything. So she gets knocked down, okay?
Yep.
And remember, this guy is super, super strong.
Okay, this is like something that comes up numerous times. They're down on the ground. Go finish it!
Right?
Well, no, they're just not doing anything.
Laura, what are you doing? I'm rescuing you. And then she's like, there's no one else available. Gosh. Okay, so, yeah, Kit, she's about to die.
Yep.
And then Freckles sees it.
Wait so long!
Yeah, I know. And then lead up. He is doing a two-handed strike, right? And he has super strength.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't have super strength, a full powered two-handed strike downways, the way that Freckles comes in to block it, that will not stop that swing. I know. I study swordsmanship, okay? There is no way that's stopping it. And then this guy, he just blew up a tree by hitting it. So there's no friggin' way. The show's just like, ready? Wait for it. That's...
nah.
She has no structure, no weight. And he basically stops it himself because that doesn't...
It's so bad. But this is probably...
Oh, wait, we get to see Willow do his thing, so...
Oh, yeah, let's see him actually be useful for once.
Well, he's not. He ruins everything. Useful. So he gets knocked down one hit, but then, hey...
At least
the little guy, Silas, I think, is... I like him.
I like him
He's one of the only few likable characters in the show. Guess what happens to him? So he gets to shiv someone. Good job, little guy. Then Willow comes in, throws the smoke bomb.
And look how... this.
Smoke
can't
everywhere.
emphasize enough how stupid this is, all right? He threw it.
And then bang.
And then it's over.
It's over. They just get on horses.
They all just stop fighting and they're all right. And they play it like it's his fault.
No, Willow, you screwed up everything.
No.
And now the smoke goes away and it gave the bad guys everything they needed to...
Oh, we're not even that far in. Oh, so much more to go.
It's front loaded, the crap in this episode, but you're right. Well,
too much.
But yeah, a lot of the crap is front loaded, and then then we can maybe get through the next part a bit quicker. And it's like, oh no, it's my fault. No, Will.
I do want to just point out though, now that the escape has happened, that whole scene was pointless because we have to do it again later. And
so bad guys get away. They get in the thing, load it up.
Oh, this wagon.
Yeah, and already, as soon as I saw the wagon, I was like, why are you taking the wagon? Leave them behind. Time is of the essence, you stupid people.
Oh, that's so bad.
Okay. This is where they start to...
Oh, yeah. Okay. I hate this line from Willow. I really hate it.
So, incel. he starts to actually say some logical information describing about what's going on.
Yeah, and he would know because he's part of that kingdom that had all that dark magic stuff.
Yep.
And
Willow comes in
and says,
"When did you become High Aldwin?" "That's right, I am."
"You arrogant..." Oh, you...
And then tells him, "Shut up, we're leaving."
You twat waffle. You absolutely... You...
Willow was an underdog, right?
He wasn't that egotistical.
Exactly. But he would know from experience. He's been in that position where no one took him seriously. Everyone thought he was incompetent, and he's doing his best, and getting shut down by BIG0TED and things like that. And then he starts acting like BIG0TED to him. It's completely out of character. Don't freaking give me this bullcrap. And so they've made Willow an arsehole. Good job.
Thank you. Because he was like... one of the most likable parts of the original movie, and you just couldn't help yourselves, could you?
And so this is where he sends the people on horses ahead, and so this could have been them desperately trying to account for the slowness of the wagon, and so they ride ahead. Then we see the wagon plodding along, and the speed that it's going, I'm like, you're going to be days behind galloping horses, okay? And they're so unfazed about it. He starts talking about how useless he is. And then they get interrupted by how useless he is. They're just waiting there.
Yep. They didn't rush ahead. There's no sense of urgency.
Fate of the world, most important person, the savior, the chosen one is kidnapped by the evil people. And we'll just wait around for Willow to catch up so we can ask him about the storm we see.
Yeah.
Such crap.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, so Allura wakes up. And we find out she's actually not tied onto the horse.
No, they... Of course.
So instead of just jumping off, she decides to... Luckily for her, the bad guy's sword is a little bit out of its sheath, so she can get her...
Very fortunate.
Her bound hands over to cut, so, arbitrary circumstantial book up. But she didn't even need to do that, because she's not tied to the horse. Like... So
I'll give... It's not much. I'll give them credit for at least noticing. Because for a second, I thought they were going to ride off and not notice.
Yeah. And they could have noticed this really clearly. That's why you don't want to risk untying your hands, because it could ruin your escape attempt. And they were that dumb to not tie you to the horse that... And then, ready? Nothing else is tied. She just slides off.
Yep.
Okay, and then... What's frustrating? They could have justified this... I guess her escaping and then slowing down the riders to justify everyone else chasing up because they're not taking it seriously, taking wagon, and they just piss farting around not caring, right? If they made her escape actually logical, but instead they want to feign intelligence and to have us believe, oh no, they just threw her over the back of the horse and not tied her on. So.
And they're on horses as well. Once they notice, she's just going to be captured again immediately. But no, it's like, oh look, forest.
Yeah. All right. So you might already know that at this point, I'm already a bit pissed off about the wagon. I was like, the wagon's slowing you down. You've literally had to wait for it to catch up.
And
then we come to this. A wheel has fallen off.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, okay.
It's time.
Well, you'll get the message now. You're going to ditch the wagon. It is just dead weight at the moment.
Yep. And
no, they spend friggin' hours repairing the thing.
And which character is the one that demands the wagon be fixed?
It's Willow.
Yep. Because of course it is.
And so literally, I have my note, right here, I just have in, capitals, just leave the friggin' wagon behind!
Yep. You could do that, but you don't. Because you don't want... Oh.
Gosh. And then, anyway, there was a line, I think, from Kit who just says, oh, that's right, so she goes off to get water, right? And...
this is where it happens. This is where Kit becomes a heartless twat again. Because...
And not only that, right? Her life was literally saved in the previous fight scene.
Yep.
Like, she was dead.
Yep.
Dead for rights,
yep.
And Freckles came and saved her.
Yep.
And then she has the friggin' gall to say to her, I don't need saving. And again,
Can I change her name to Kent? Please? Because I hate her.
I almost want the writers to be that... I wish they... it's bad either way, but if they were just unaware of the contradiction and how insufferable it is, that's one thing. But I think this is intentional. But the thing is, though, if it's intentional, you want us to hate this character? Why are you writing such an insufferable cow of a character?
Yeah, like she doesn't even care about Freckles' gripes about, I don't want to kill this guy. I didn't care about him. And she's like, oh, but we have to. And then at least Freckles does come in and say, actually, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll take it. I like Freckles more than this one.
So she says, Kid is like, I can take care of myself. And then Freckles is like, no, you can't.
Actually, I held back the whole time. You're actually not that good.
I beat you every time because I'm so great.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So therefore, they're wanting to, so her arrogance is unjustified. That means it's intentional in the story. And especially that, it turns out Freckles was letting her win the whole time. And so are the writers wanting us to think sympathetic for her or to make, go through an arc?
I don't know.
Because all you're achieving is just making her come off so arrogant and up herself. Because she can't even take it. She's like, what?
Yeah, she storms off and is like, oh, I don't want to talk to you now. You lied to me.
And then, why would you do that? It's like, I love you, essentially. That's the paraphrase. She says, I liked throws. And so the relationship I hate.
Yeah,
it's just...
It's groan-worthy.
Right? And
Swear-worthy, actually.
So they get back, right?
Oh,
and everyone's dying like they just ran a marathon. And the wagon doesn't look that big.
Yeah, as if Borman would be on the ground winded from that.
And then if it was that hard, which it wouldn't be,
get rid of it.
Ditch the thing.
Or stick.
Look, there's trees in the background. Get a big stick, leverage it up. Wouldn't be that hard. But look at him. He's like, oh, you got pulled my groin.
Oh, I just realized Willow's winded by it. Just abandon it!
Friggin' wagon! All right. Hey, Tyrant. The thumbnail, the tagline. I friggin' hate this wagon.
Yep.
I'm hoping that the lack of context will get people to want to know why and get it to click. But
we got to set this up. Dark forest.
Oh, yes.
All right?
Dark, spooky forest. Like, woo,
yeah, it's very dark. It's very scary. Foggy everywhere. You can't see. All right. It's interesting atmosphere.
And
look at this.
And it goes from that to that. That will actually show you the transition. She's crawling. She's crawling, and it's still dark and spooky. And she looks over a log. And it goes from that.
Ta-da.
Ready? Ta-da. It's like, yeah, that gave me whiplash.
I didn't believe it was real. There's no way it's real. I was like, this has to be a vision. This has to be someone that she must remember from her childhood. It can't be real. And then it is real.
I know. It's so out of place. I thought that this was made by a witch to lure desperate travelers in from this spooky wood, right?
Yep.
But it's not. They literally just have this beam of light in the middle of the forest where everything else is hell and a nightmare. And then she's like, this picturesque forest is right there. And there's no explanation. Like, literally, it was so jarring. I thought that they were doing it intentionally. But no, it's just like, happy place.
Yep.
And then we meet
these people.
Cowboys. Like, look at what they're wearing. This is insane.
This is
that's
denim.
It's denim. It's denim and a cowboy hat. Like, what period are we in now? Like, look at them. They're literally cowboys. Cowgirls. So what the hell?
I just can't.
Like, I thought the plastic knock arrows and plastic, armor was bad. This takes it to a new level. They've just abandoned all pretense of medieval fantasy. They don't even know what period they're trying to reflect.
I mean, granted, this was kind of expected with the dialogue they're using, but they've just gone full blown now.
It's insane. And then they want these characters to be fun, quirky, and goofy. But they're actually just acting like brain-dead, nonsensical, morons that have had a stroke.
Just wait till we talk about a certain line about them talking when they talk. Just, wow.
It's so dumb.
They don't act like real people. I still was like, this has to be a vision. She must be tripping out on mushrooms or something.
I know. It was the one in blue, the denim, right, speaks so brain-dead, goofy, stupid that I was thinking, is this like a magical creature pretending to be human?
It would be better than what we got.
It would have explained it, but no, she's a person that just speaks like that. It's the what? And again, the writers probably thought, aren't we so clever? This is such a quirky, fun character. And so quirky that you have this desperate girl lost in the woods saying, evil men are after me, trying to kill me. And they're like, oh, aren't you lovely? Good to see you. She's like, no, we're in danger. Yes, yes, yes. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of men are after you.
It's like, you have this girl who's scared to death, and the natural response is just like, take it serious. They don't take it seriously at all.
One of them even tries to hit on her. It's like, this is not...
Basically, yeah, it's two lesbians living in the woods, and then starts hitting on, the poor girl asking for help, essentially. And again, like, you come across someone in the woods whose trade is chopping wood.
I'm just confused. How do they lug the logs around? Logs are heavy, all right?
They say they're woods women, all right? And it's just like, that's not a trade that women often, takes a lot of upper body strength to swing those axes all day.
You're also in the woods alone.
I know.
No company.
Like, what?
That's a big ask for even men to do.
If you're a woodsman, so your trade is collecting wood, right? It's like you're just chopping firewood.
That's not what you're doing. We need that wood for houses. Their house is made of logs.
And look, I know there have been lots of women who do some really hard backbreaking jobs.
Yeah, I know.
And everything. Of course, we're not saying that's not the case. But when you see so many cases in the show where they have, it seems like overtly they want to draw attention to the fact that, hey, it's not the men doing this job.
Well, the thing is...
they're trying to pull.
They stopped everything to spend time with these people. And it amounts to nothing. It's another big waste of time.
Exactly. It's unneeded. Because guess what? All they do to serve is nothing. She gets captured anyway, and they end up getting killed off.
They buy time. That's it.
It's filler. Pointless filler. And and not pointless, it makes it worse because the characters are so dumbly written. They're so stupid. And they're so out of place. Yep. It's just a slap. What is going on? The incompetence on display is astounding.
Yep.
I think we're almost at Rings of Power back, and that's an achievement, guys.
I'm there just on the outfits alone.
Like, look at that outfit. What the freaking hell? You could show that picture to anyone, and no one would think that was a medieval fantasy setting. You could even picture that in the modern day of someone living in the woods. It's a modern day shirt with a collar and wearing denim.
So bad.
I can't believe it. Who is the costumer? Because they should be fired. Like, what they...
Out of a cannon.
Oh, my goodness. It's so bad. And anyway, we get to the quirky exchanges and the funny way she speaks. No, so she gets the...
Oh, just what she says her name!
She just blurts out her name. My name's Laura. It's like, no doubt named in deference to the true empress. And it's like, again... I bet the writers think this is hilarious. They're like, someone's speaking goofily. It's funny, isn't it? Oh, my goodness.
Because quirk equals character.
Like, look, this thing, Borman actually has some funny lines. It's like,
I agree.
It's like someone else has written his lines. And
I wonder if it's the actor he's scribbling on the script. Okay.
Yeah, he probably is ad-libbing most of it.
Yes.
And look at this. One must feel when you see the fruit of your loins.
What?
Why
would you... What prompted you to say this? That's the thing. They don't even understand how basic conversation is.
It's insane. Like, I'm watching this thinking, like, these people are mentally disabled. I guess we have that representation now. And look, at least Laura is reacting like, just shut up. Like, you're not acting human. Yeah. Just listen.
I thought... Oh my god, were they going for like a Tom Bombadil kind of thing going on?
I don't know. Because that's what I mean. You might have been able to pull it off if there was some non-human, like, because they're not speaking like humans, not normal people.
I legitimately thought they weren't human.
Yeah,
I didn't believe that they. No, how is this? I can't believe that this is still here.
And look, they still don't. Men are coming for me.
And then here's the response.
Like, oh.
Where we do not doubt that.
Yeah, men are coming for you.
Yeah, you're very pretty. It's like, yeah, thank you for...
You do have a pleasing aspect and fine complexion. They're insane. It's just so dumb.
That's the thing. We've got a few more scenes with these people as well.
I know. It's just...
This is just the first one.
And so she says, like, bad guys might be coming, and then, oh, don't worry, I got my big axe, I'll take them all on.
Which is a double axe as well.
Because,
of course.
Got to do the whole masculine sitting thing.
Oh, stop it. Okay, anyway, we're back to our fellowship of retards.
Yes! Yeah, unironically.
And this made me lose my mind. Willow.
Yeah, go, take it.
Willow's like, they're like, we should split up. And Willow's like, no, we shouldn't do that. And everyone ignores him. And then later on, he suggests to split up, even though he said that we would all be vulnerable if we split up! I hate how stupid Willow is. I can't do it.
There's a road that they're arguing over. And the key thing, what makes them like they can't go one way...
It's the names.
What? But also, look what he says. It's the friggin' wagon again!
It won't make it.
They can't go the faster route because then ditch the stupid wagon, you retards!
Just dump it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, it's too much.
And once, literally, again, I wrote capitals. Just leave the place.
We really hate that wagon. All
right? Hate that wagon. Oh. And you might think it was cathartic to see it destroyed, because again, it pissed me off even more because it meant the riders were happy to just get rid of it.
They knew!
And so the characters now look so, this is the third time when the wagon is really detrimental. And from the very first thing, the first option would be ditch it.
Yep.
And so by the fact that then they lose a wheel, they don't ditch it, and then they can't take the fast pass, they still don't ditch it, they all look like absolute retards, morons, for not doing the obvious.
One of the wheels even breaks later.
It's awful.
Anyway, they're trying to. They even talk about names as well. Like, wagon's bad enough, but they're also like, oh, those names sound creepy. We shouldn't go that way.
I know.
Oh, those names sound much nicer. We should go that way.
And because one name had some type of implication of, I forget the exact line. It was just like large, expansive valley or something like that. And it's like, oh, well, maybe we should go to the large boob valley or something like that. So anyway, back to the insane people. And then it turns out Allura is telling them everything. You don't know who they are, but yes, I'm the chosen one. And at this point I was thinking, these could be evil witch gremlins in disguise, and she's spilling the guts to him.
I also got to say, just an aside, Allura's first comments are about, oh, a kid doesn't like me very... You've got bigger things to worry about other than some annoying princess not liking you.
My friggin' goodness.
Oh, and the woods women decide to help her.
Yeah, lucky.
Seeing the mark.
She had, any person with half a brain who met people acting like this would be like,
run.
Wow, these people could just chop me up at night. And it wouldn't surprise me from the way they act.
Yep.
But Allura, instead of having any sense of how creepy they are, spills everything to them.
It's everything.
But because if you guys, you should know, if you met a woods man in the forest, how it would be dangerous, and you should have your defenses up. But if you meet a woods woman, perfectly fine. And as proven by this episode, they pledge their undying fealty to death to help her.
Can we go into what they were saying there? Because I got so confused when they started talking. Where basically they're like, they give this speech about, oh, you're a symbol of hope. And then we all share the same world, breathe the same air. It's like, you just acknowledge that she is very special and very important. And then you try and compare yourselves to her. It's like, oh, you represent that we're all the same. No, no, you're not. You're just not.
Yeah.
How dense are you? It shouldn't be possible to be this stupid.
Yeah, I know. We will fight at your side and faithfully serve you now until our last... Oh, my goodness. They're retarded. These are not real people. And so I'll be like, oh, my goodness, I've let the crazy house go, and they're just going to follow me wherever I go now. This is not good.
More comments about gorgeous skin.
Yeah, it's you are more than raw celestial power and gorgeous skin. Again, they're lesbians, so they have to hit on her. That would have been sexist if a man did it, of course. But seriously, unwanted comments about someone's appearance. But it's okay when a woman does it. Feminism in a nutshell these days.
See, will she the same? We'll breathe the same air. What the hell? You acknowledge she's a prophesized hero, but you're like, no.
these characters are insane.
Oh my God.
All right. So,
And then it becomes dark just as the guy shows up.
yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. Anyway, this is why we called him Skin Man.
Yeah. Skin suit. Right.
Yeah,
And so she gets the axe. And
watch this.
So we got to watch some of this. This is pretty hilarious.
This fight scene.
So every indication is that this is an untrained woodswoman
against the captain of the guard.
All right, so important that it was too important to go and rescue the princess, but important enough to go rescue a kitchen hand. All right. Oh, sorry, prince. Rescue the prince. But they'll send the princess in instead because she's not as important as him. That's how important he is. So wait for it. And look, she just waits, lets him. He's clearly about to fight, so she just take your time. She doesn't try and take him out quickly.
It's an honourable cowgirl.
Like, holy crap, his sword was sticking that far out of the scabbard even there. They just make the scabbard so it doesn't cover the top part of his sword, so they could justify Laura Dannon getting free.
I mean, prop makers, costume designers, right there.
Look, his sword. His sword is like. I think that's just how it sits in the scabbard.
Yep. Like, they really draw attention on this one, though.
All right, so this is the fight, right? Yep. Untrained woodsman versus captain of the guard.
And this is what you get.
And look, she could barely swing it. Right? It spins around and bang!
Yep.
Just floors him. I like in this exchange.
Would an axe like that really go through that armor, though?
No.
I didn't think so.
Not a chance. Not a friggin' chance.
I just wanted to ask that
Especially
question.
with how much strength she swung the thing. You might have been able to wind him a little bit, but...
Again, I was still unconvinced that this was just an ordinary person. But then... then she dies.
Yeah, and so...
Like, right there. It's like, wait, that was an ordinary person!
So, you've just lodged an axe in someone's back.
Yep.
And he's still standing.
Yep.
First red flag, you might want to keep your guard up. But instead, she's like...
Draw the axe.
Look,
draw the axe.
He's still standing. Red flag. Something's wrong. You're not... And so she's just like, I got him. Take that. And then she's just smiling. And then she just stands there to get stabbed. Right through. She's like, look, I got it. And he hasn't reacted yet. Holy crap, I'll be like, what's going on? Yep. I'll take my axe, I'll dislodge anything. And then...
Like, how did you see it from the corner of your eye?
I know. And she's just like, aren't I so great? And
then it's done. Congratulations, you are retarded. You are the most retarded character I've seen in a long time.
I'm not serious. I mean, she is one of the most bizarre, insane, stupid, and they tried to be goofy, but it's like, no, you missed.
At least the name fits the whole retarded angle, Hubert.
Oh, my goodness.
What a name.
So, but that's the thing. Of course, the female woodsman would be able to outfight, a trained male knight, and she only loses because of trickery and deceit.
Yep.
I hate it. Friggin' hate it. It shows...
that's something else. Right after, this creepy skin man, he's just killed the main person fighting. Hilora and the other one starts running. What's this guy do? I'm just going to stroll. Just going to go for a stroll.
Yeah.
Chase him! Chase them, you absolute retard! Come on!
But he catches up anyway, because he can teleport.
Oh, it's so...
So they're running desperately through the forest, and you can even see him walking casually behind still. And then, they run into the other guys. She just gets killed off because reasons, and then she gets captured again, and the insane woods women people, completely unnecessary.
Yep. Waste of time.
Borman and Kit, they arrive at the supposed inn, but it's not really there.
Slaughtered Lamb Inn.
Slaughtered Lamb Inn. Oh, and look what happens. The wagon gets friggin' bogged. Have you not gotten through your thick friggin' skulls at its dead weight yet?
I hate this wagon so much.
But guess what? They actually unbog it, because when they arrive at the fight, they have it with them still!
All because Willow really just wants to sit down in it while
Can't
it's going
friggin'
around.
believe you had to unhinge the horse. Get on the horse. That's the fourth time. This wagon is making me crazy.
Whoever's editing this, put a tally counter, all right?
We're up to 4.
All right.
The first one was when they wouldn't be able to outrun horses, and
Yeah.
they needed ditch to just keep up. Now I am losing count because my brain is breaking.
Tally counter.
Oh my god! Then they had to wait for the wagon
Yep.
to catch up, and so that slows it down. The wagon loses a wheel.
Yep.
Okay. Then they can't take the faster pass because of the wagon. We're up to 4 already, and now it gets bogged. That's friggin' 5. Willow, you reach it. What? Why do you want the wagon so much?
Just take whatever's important out of it.
This show is making me hate wagons. Yep. All wagons, everywhere. It's making me racist against wagons. I just want to destroy all friggin' wagons now.
If I see a wagon, I'm going to kick it.
You're going to rip it apart.
Yep.
He wants to bring it back. I'm like, no, friggin' leave the wagon behind. You're not going to be like, whoa, what's that? I don't care. I've seen Willow episode 3. I'm not taking the wagon.
I wish this was beer. It would help.
So we find out here, Willow isn't using his magic because he only has so much. He has to rest and only save it for the right moment.
Okay, this wasn't a thing in the original movie.
No, it wasn't.
So
but also,
why is it here? I don't understand how magic works now. I'm
just
so confused.
this freaking episode. How it ends, right, reveals that Willow could have stopped all of this at any moment when the bad guys are around. Anytime.
Oh,
and he
by the
chose
way,
not to.
Yeah, and what he uses is really, really effective, by the way.
It's insane, okay? And Willow,
I hate
did you not think bad guys kidnapping the chosen one of the world
Warren's using it!
right then? You numbskull! You absolute...
You are as dumb as a koala.
Oh, I'm not saying something because koalas are very, very dumb if you don't know. Literally smooth brain, look it up.
Yep.
Koalas, they're so cute and happy in nature. No, koalas are fucking stupid.
I'm going to think of as Willow now.
And so, yeah, Kit and the other guy, they get to, the inn, but the inn is destroyed. Why are we here? And there's this dumb kind of subplot with that. Mad Mardigan is supposed to have, done... He trusted the innkeeper here, and if he left anything, it would have been with the innkeeper.
Yeah.
And it's like... They don't actually say it, but it actually sounds like they're looking for the cuirass, that the cuirass might have been hidden here by Mad Mardigan.
Yeah, that's why Borman's here. And he gets
but Borman actually he finds the Flux Arcana, I think.
Yeah,
the Lux
the key.
Arcana. It's the key, but he doesn't tell anyone.
Key to armor, which is one of the stupidest ideas I've ever heard.
It's really stupid. So, yeah, they go underground.
And also, little side note, Kit finds out that he lied about this place being destroyed. And she still goes along with him. Because,
I was confused because I thought it wasn't in, but now destroyed. And it must have been destroyed since the last time he got there and he was playing it off. But no, was it? Did she figure out that it was destroyed the whole time?
Yeah, he admits to her.
See, I missed that.
He basically admits to her that I lie about 1/3 of the time.
Okay, because we see the background. That's it's a ruin.
Yeah, and she gets annoyed and is about to walk off and then...
And it's like, oh, your father was here once upon a time.
And he continues to manipulate her. And she falls for it. Because she's not just insufferable, she's also stupid.
Yep. Okay. So, again, this is where we start to not be able to see anything.
Yep.
Like right here. See how dark it is?
Anyway, this scene really annoyed me. This solidified Elora's destruction.
Yeah.
Because she taunts her captors. Not something I'd expect from her. Just saying.
We also find out that she can burn them with touching, and then she doesn't bother to use that again.
Yep, no.
There's a fight, people fighting.
Yep. Yeah. Do the Harry Potter thing. Just put your hands on the face and melt it.
All right. Then I was like, okay, yeah. Because when she touches and burns him, she's like, yeah, I am powerful. I got the magic. So right here, I think it's right here. See that?
Yeah, melts
and
the
she's
skin.
like, holy crap, I got the magic
And then
stuff.
suddenly she's got the...
And so I was actually thinking, she tries to bluff them. I can cast a spell. And then she says the thing. And I thought, hey, this might actually be a proper setup where they establish that the only, charm that she knows is the plant growing one.
Yeah,
she says it, and plants just I don't know, vines wrap around it, and you know, it
That'd
goes
be
nuts.
better than what we got.
It does nothing, and instead, it's a like for somehow, Willow with the wagon that was bogged just teleports here. They went in opposite directions. Well, they went all the way the other direction, got bogged, unbogged, made up all the distance they made, then all the way back.
By the way, Borman's route was quicker.
Yeah.
Was supposed to be... Oh, it's supposed to be the quickest route.
It's so dumb.
But yeah, do you see this, audience? Do you... I don't know how good we can make this look. Because it's really dark.
Like, you can barely see a thing. And so they're laughing after Alora tried to cast a spell.
Yep.
And I was thinking, it's a clear setup that we think we're so confident you can't do things. It winds. No, a rock hits him in the side of the head.
Yep.
And is like, ouch, that hurt. He looks, and look who...
This is a... Oh.
They're there. They're there.
Yep.
And we later find out the wagon is there too. And it's just a teleport.
Yep.
Freaking hell.
At least they're trying to have a somewhat serious moment. Where did this come from? Where did that helmet come from?
I don't know. I
She wasn't carrying it anywhere.
She's wearing... I had a lot of trouble seeing what weapon she was using, and it turns out it's this polearm spear weapon thing. It's like, where did I didn't see her have that weapon in any other moment.
She just conjured a
has
helmet and a spear out of nowhere.
You could barely see it. Like, here, I did not see what weapon she's holding here, and only in the fight scene, I was like, that looks like it's a polearm, but I still could barely see it. And then
this is funny, by the way, because she puts on this helmet. It's like, oh yeah, protect your face and all that. It gets hit off in, like, the next scene! So what are you even doing?
And so...
Anyway, we're back to Kent.
So they establish from the beginning that for Borman to get out of this well, that is for some reason... It's a well in a crypt. I don't know why you need crypt in a well. I don't know. Ritual, right? But
sure, whatever.
Kit needs to help him get out. She needs to pull him up, they say. And when he said that, I was like, do you see how tall she is? No way she's going to lift your weight, man.
No, you're a big man.
But it mentions twice about pulling up, right? He finds the Lux whatever Magica thing.
Key.
And then where rats appear, and she's like, oh.
What did you think of these? Because I know they're practical.
Were that that's 3D. I thought, what was that? I couldn't see, Marcus. I couldn't see why, like, if it was 3D or practical.
What I saw, I was like, wow, that looks really bad.
Yeah. Oh.
It's so hard to see.
All right, see, that is practical there. I still could barely see a thing.
By the way, I just want to point out, I hate her sword. I really don't like it.
So, look, I'll give it because that's Sorcerer's sword from the movie.
Yeah, I don't like Sorcerer.
I don't like the design there. Like, the hilt is, like,
yeah,
bulky as anything. Not a good design.
No.
So, anyway, she kills the rat, and then she's like, because then more rare rat eyes is, I need your help now.
Yeah, I don't know how he got out of there.
I don't know, because in the next scene it goes back. So, they're out. Yeah. So... Then it cuts and is suddenly out.
Yeah,
and
the
previous shot was that she was surrounded by were-rats. They're about to attack.
Yep.
And so what must happen is she's like, just wait there, were-rats. I'm sure you would be very compliant and help me out. And just wait while I pull my friend up, which I would not have the strength to pull up at all.
Yeah,
and then get out. And then we get out. And then we have to fight past the were-rats. And then the were-rats were happy to wait for all that to happen.
Yep. Because they are very accommodating.
Yep. And very accommodating.
Anyway, back to a fight scene we can't see.
Like... What? You can barely see anything. And it's better on the laptop, but the other screens, I can actually make out more here. But even now, it's really hard to see.
Yep.
But on a TV screen, everything is just like, this is all... I actually don't even think the last night or in Game of Thrones was hard. Long night, sorry.
Yeah, at least with the long night, you can see certain things.
Yeah,
this is rough.
This is criminal at how...
Oh, I'm about to swear again. Okay, I'm going to do it. For sake, we have Helm's Deep as an example. Just copy what they did.
It's just like out of all the examples of crap fight scenes in the dark where you can't see anything, when are they going to learn from this? But the thing is, I bet even if we could see what's going on,
just on the glitch.
I know. I couldn't see it, Marcus.
I know.
And that's the thing. Even if we could see it, it probably just pisses off more because it's so bad it is. I wonder if that's the thing. It's like, it's so bad, we need to hide it. We'll just make it really dark. They're that embarrassed by this abomination of a show.
Oh,
And so, look, I'm just going to skip past it. It's, useless crap. Oh, this freaking pissed me off. It's like, you have what? It's dangerous. And this is when it's like, Willow, it's in the wagon, right? Yeah. And so, it's relax. I know what I'm doing. And then...
should be enough to repel them. He's like, yeah, look, just get everyone to stop fighting and get back to the wagon. Willow, you can't do that because they're attacking you. If they retreat, guess what happens? They will pursue you. They will get on the wagon and they will kill you all.
And then they get back in the wagon.
Thank you that it's destroyed, though.
No, but like...
it's too late, though.
It pisses me off even more because, like I said, they're happy to have gotten rid of it. So why the...
Because wagon stopping us. Yeah, it's funny.
I freaking hate wagons. I want to kill all wagons. Destroy all wagons. They're vermin. Oh. And so...
anyway, Incel's on the ground,
Incel,
getting
he
strangled.
tries
Somehow
to do
he
something.
survives. Oh, look, little guy. He
little guy, right?
And
this is an important moment, right? Which you can't see. Because he stabbed... he is shanking him good. Like, that is...
You need to go really slow here, because I want to know what does the damage to him.
Okay. He gets thrown.
Okay,
he gets thrown off by superhuman strength, and this is the killing. He's like, ah! Oh, no, he just lands. I thought he got thrown into a wall. No, he just lands. That's actually anticlimactic. That's why I couldn't use. See, all I saw was a blur, and then him in pain. And I was like, the logical assumption of, competent people writing this would be that he was thrown into a wall and the impact. But no, on further inspection, where you look really close, you find he just got thrown and rolled on the ground.
Yep.
And that's enough to kill him.
Yep. Because of course.
Okay. And so seeing his friend get injured, right? Like, not realizing that they're in mortal combat for their lives, right? That if I act now, I could save everyone's life. Willow decides to wait until someone dies, and then he'll decide, maybe I'll use my magic. Willow, you bastard. You could have saved your friend if you didn't friggin' hold back and was such a pussy about, I gotta preserve my magic. And it's like, dude, Alora Dannon, back in the forest when she was getting kidnapped. Fate of the world. Are you telling me that wasn't,
He just stands there and watches.
And so, check out what Willow does. This is insane.
Actually, we forgot something else.
What?
How did Borman and Kit show up? Come on, they were in a cave far away.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. So, how? Freckles was on the ropes. She's about to get defeated, right? Did you not see what happens? Because what happens is amazing. So I managed to see this, which is impressive. I might need to show you. All right, is this where? Yeah. So Freckles is fighting. Watch what happens. This is amazing, guys. Like, seriously, hilarious. Freckles gets knocked to the ground. Okay,
she's at the guy's mercy.
And the luck of destiny, of plot armor, and bad writing, but for this to have actually happened in real life, the amount of arbitrary luck you'd have, where you just happen to fall down in this exact spot, at this exact time,
and...
Ready? Wait for it.
Convenient hole, they come out!
What are you kidding me?
And now they're in the fight. Yeah, they're just here now.
So...
Because of course!
Unironically, right, they're underground, and they said, maybe if we break through one of the upper cliffs, we'll get free. And they just happened to break through the exact one, which is the exact position where Freckles is about to die, and they break out at the perfect time to stop the death blow. This is probably the worst, it's called a jump save, that's what I call it, right? Where someone's about to be killed, and then someone jumps in from off screen and save their life. Instead of a jump scare, it's a jump save, right? This is probably the most arbitrary, bullcrap, nonsense jump save I have ever seen. Like, the amount of timing to just luckily have that fall together, that they just burst through right then to save her life. Bullcrap!
I don't believe it.
Bullcrap!
And that's the thing. The guy he stood there just not doing anything. He had her at the mercy. So much of this happens.
This show, this episode, it went off a cliff, and the first two were bad.
Yeah, this one.
And this one is just, wow.
It just solidifies it. By the way, again, hard to see. Lots of static behind. Did you notice that?
Barely see a thing. So Willow, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is insane. This is what he does, right? He could have done this at any moment. He just Vagdu.
Yep.
He says a Vagdu, smashes the thing, magical flame, and he nukes them.
He destroys them. They're all set on fire.
It just doesn't harm the good guys, harms the bad guy, must just target evil, and like, holy crap, he could have ended it at any time.
Yep. Oh, but he has like a little dial. He can only use so much.
Yeah, I would say saving the, chosen one or your best friend at the beginning of the fight against, like, possessed evil bad guys might have been the thing. But instead, this selfish bastard decides to wait and then leaves his friend die, and after Zed dies, like, now I'm sad, I'll do it. I would take that as, like, dude!
Yeah.
Lean with that!
Yep.
Gosh. And then it basically, not only that, it kind of fries the evil, and so the good guy is basically able to talk again. And so you don't know if, like,
the others are dead, though.
He's
the only one that's alive.
I don't know why, but then does that mean his life is saved? He was like, he cast out the evil demon, but then he's like, I've got to die, and he gets Freckles to kill him, and it was supposed to make, like, this is really sad and everything. And I was like, but what happened? They're trying to say, but they don't explain it, is that I guess he will be possessed again unless they take him out now while he's weak.
Yeah.
And then his friend, and this is the guy from the first film.
Yeah, it's a good scene. I wish I could have seen it.
Yeah, we can't see a thing, but I felt nothing because of the stupidity of what happened and the fact that Willow could have saved his life early on, robbed every emotional investment, where I'm watching this thinking, this is your fault, Willow. You selfish bastard.
You absolute moron. You're a twat. You're an absolute wanker beyond belief. Yeah. I don't know how you're so terrible.
And so this is where Freckles comes up and has to,
Yeah, of course, like, this guy's alive because we got to get that payoff.
And look, I almost felt something here, but this is also robbed by the, like, is he saved or not? They don't explain it.
Yeah, but then he starts speaking generic lines that any fantasy character would have said.
Every road you've ever walked has led you here to this moment. Holy crap.
What, so you knew you'd get corrupted and turned into...
Cut and paste that. It's just so generic.
Might as well just have, you're not so different, you and I.
And then,
what else is...
It's just crap. And then, she kills him.
Yeah, it's sad.
And then...
I think
the rain means they can't go back the way they came.
But she wasn't even that deep of puddles.
I don't know. Yeah, but there's reasons,
you could
right?
trudge through that.
They got to go up the same bad path. So the bad guys wanted to take Laura Dannon up the bad pathway to a location of evil of some kind, right? And so their logic is, rain. They're trying to say that's the only way they can go.
Yep.
You know another option, separate from taking her to the very location the bad guys are trying to take her?
Yeah.
Wait for it to stop raining, you retard! And go back the other way! Don't take her to the evil layer!
It's true. It's so true.
It's so dumb!
And that's the thing. I thought the episode was over, but no, it just keeps on going.
It keeps on going, and then...
I
think this is... I think this is the evil castle in the final battle of the film.
It looks like it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I can't remember the name.
By the way, I just want to mention a little aside. Orman buried that little dwarf really quickly, by the way.
Yeah, well, you don't have to dig too much.
That's a fair point. There was also another weird thing. Elora knows where to go. She's like, we gotta go up the stairs. Everyone's like, let's just go up the stairs.
And this is where it closes the episode. They're trying to go,
everyone was also saying,
invested.
Okay?
Be invested, guys. Or they have to go in the dark. You don't have to go in the evil castle thing. They're going to come in there and be attacked by... Look, I saw trolls in the trailer, so I'm having a feeling there'll be a troll infested. Like, you didn't have to go this way. Just wait for it to stop raining.
Yep.
And if it's too flat, fine. I'm sure there's a way around. And if not, just wait. You idiots. You wouldn't think that the place the bad guys were trying to take Laura Dannon to would have been a red flag, and you might not want to go that way.
And then, here's the thing. This may not piss off Shad, but I hate it. They start playing, Enter Sandman, people, from Metallica. And they have a cover of it that is an ear rape. It is so bad. This show, just for using that, has earned all of my wrath for using my favorite song. Piece of garbage.
You don't deserve it. It's too good for this crap. But also, to me, the music is out of place.
Oh, all of it is, yeah.
I
But when I started hearing, like, I was like, hang on. Willow's talking about the evil place. I know that soundtrack. No, you don't you dare. And then they did it. This episode was dog.
Next, when I say next level, that's like, it is Rings of Power dog crap. This is
awful.
This is 1 out of 10 territory now, upon retrospect and the deep dive.
How far can we go into the negatives?
I don't know. We're in new. We are treading new ground in bad media in the modern day. Like this is. Because
I want to go to -4. Gosh.
So, Willow went off a cliff. Like remember, look at my episode 1 and 2 review. There were some things I kind of liked. I kind of liked Laura Dannon. Look, at least Borman is got the but. They're going to ruin him next. Now Laura is an idiot. And, as, like, episode 2 was a lot of pointless filler, but there was real pointless filler where you can cut this. This is crap. There we go. Willow, episode 3.
It hurt. I hope you get some enjoyment out of that.
Oh, my goodness. And we look forward to covering the future episodes.
Yeah.
And also, don't look for it. We do it for you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. And as always, stay on watch.